A great day of football. Numerous turnovers by Cherry Hill East forced by the Lion defense. But still, Lions could not score on this day. And it will be a fourth quarter touchdown by the Cougars that will lead to a 7-0 victory in the only game in which the Lions did not score in the entire 1981 campaign. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mark Steele, along with Jim Powell, here today to present to you the Cherry Hill High School East versus West annual Thanksgiving Day football game. And at this time, we'd like to allow you to listen to the Cherry Hill West Lions Band under the direction of Mr. Charles A. Williams.
mentioning also, on Saturday, the Cherry Hill West Lions Marching Band will participate in the Millville JC's Christmas Parade.
Where's your mom, Gary? 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 Gary?
Good morning and welcome to Cougar Country.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the combined Cherry Hill West and Cherry Hill East bands that will be playing the national anthem momentarily. It's a beautiful morning here at the Jonas C. Morris Stadium.
Mark, it's a very impressive looking band out there now with the combined bands. Of course, East and West, very affluent with their bands in the community over the years. Cherry Hill East Marching Band taking many awards, and Cherry Hill West also. They just had a big battle of the bands here.
Well, it sounds like the fans are ready to go here. As soon as we get the bands off, we'll be starting this game momentarily. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody here to a beautiful Thanksgiving Day morning. My name is Mark Steele. I'll be doing the play-by-play. I'm joined by my good friend Jim Powell over here. He'll be doing some color commentary for us.
And it's going to take them quite a while to get the bands off of the field. It's just a large group of students out there. Of course, Cherry Hill East in the red, Cherry Hill West in their traditional purple colors.
Under the press box in the East Homestead. And there's a Gridiron Club meeting Monday night, the 29th at 7:30 p.m. at Cherry Hill East.
Mark, while the band's clearing off, maybe we could talk a little bit about the history of this football game.
Well, the history of this game, the game began back in 1969, which was the graduating classes of 1970. And at that time, it was Coach Dick Curl's East Cougars beating the Lions under Vince McEnany by the score of 12-6. And the history of this game is one that is dominated by the Cougars of Cherry Hill East. Each year, the winner of the game will be presented the Aldebart Memorial Trophy, Aldebart was the administrator who served at both schools, and the game was dedicated in his honor. East has won every contest that has been played, except for one in 1974. But most of the games, though, Jim, have been close contests, as was evident last year. And the Lions, even though they had a losing season, battled very, very hard against the Cougars, finally to succumb 7-0. But most of the games have been very, very close. Who knows what will happen today?
That's true. You can throw the records away usually when you have a rivalry between sister schools. I know over the years throughout South Jersey, when you do have two schools in a district, Woodrow Wilson and Camden, and you have the Triton and Highland and Edgewood and Overbrook and districts like that, that when those two schools meet, it seems like no matter what the record has been going into that game, that, hey, anything can happen at that point.
Right now, the captains, I imagine that there are the seniors here for both squads are at center field for the toss of the coin.
Captains for Cherry Hill East today will be number 75, Stanley Clayton, number 63, Joe Solinsky, and number 41, Jeff Felt. For the Lions of Cherry Hill West, we will have number 25, Blaze Salvatore, number 11, Chris Shiro, and number 70, Yale Epstein.
We have the principals there from both schools, Mrs. Jones Katz from West and Mr. Tony Cost from East.
We'll have to talk to Mrs. Katz about that toss, too. Usually they just let it go to the ground.
I think she's new at this game.
And it certainly didn't help since Cherry Hill East won the toss anyway. So Cherry Hill East will elect to receive.
And the ticket was sold by John Zack.
And as we were watching the national anthem, as they were raising the flag, the viewers could see that the wind could be a problem in this early goings in the ball game. The wind is blowing from right to left on your screen, and it appears that Cherry Hill East will have the wind at their back for the first series of plays.
Yeah, it looks instead of taking the ball, they chose to take the wind. So we're going to get ready here as the Cherry Hill West cheerleaders are saying hello to the crowd here on the east side of town. And yes, East will be lining up to kick off right now.
Kicking off for Cherry Hill East should be number 24, Todd Azar. And the lovely ladies from Cherry Hill West.
Kicking off for the Cougars, number 24.
Yes, Todd Azar is getting ready to kick off, and deep for the Cherry Hill West Lions will be number 11, Chris Chiaro. Chris is a fine running back that unfortunately has not been able to get on track too many times this year.
For the Lions, number 11, Chris Chiaro.
Again, it's a beautiful day for football. Little breeze going from right to left, but other than that, things are very, very nice.
And, of course, the temperature is very nice as compared to some of these Thanksgiving Day games that you come up and there's snow on the ground. I remember a few years ago over at Audubon, I went up to do a game up there, and there was snow on the field as we got there. I'll take this weather.
Yes, I'll take it. Getting ready for the kickoff right now. Again, who knows what's going to happen on a day like today.
It's Todd Azar again, number 24 for Cherry Hill East.
Kick is going deep. Charo takes it. The wall is forming. It's coming up the left sideline. And he's brought down by a host of Cougar tacklers over there. And getting those initial hits in is very, very important in a game like this. Gets everybody into the flow very, very early.
Well, good pursuit by the Cougars of Cherry Hill East. And already West is starting out in poor field position.
Starting at quarterback for the Lions today will be number 10, Mike Crovetti, a junior. Chris Chiaro will be at the tailback position, and Blaze Salvatore at fullback. Dean Smith.
Okay, Blaze Salvatore has been used. He's been doing yeoman's work for the Lions throughout the year. He's moved over to tight end today. The front line of the Lions, at tight end would be number 25, Blaze Salvatore. The tackles, number 70, Yale Epstein, and number 75, Paul Moran. The guards, number 55, Tony Calzaretto, and number 75, Troost.
Look, there was a little mix-up there between the center and the quarterback Crovetti, and Crovetti had the fall on the ball, still retaining possession for the Lions.
At center, number 50, Joe Olivo for the Lions. Wide receiver, number 13, Tommy Bass. And the flanker back, number 24, Scott Dean.
Jim, when you get a moment, maybe you could reflect a little bit on the inexperience that the Lions have seemed to have problems with this season when we get a break in the action here. This is third down play. Crovetti calling the signals. Crovetti back to pass, looking over the middle. And brought down immediately, and he's short of the first down. That was Salvatore on the receiving end, but he's short. Here we have that again on slow motion replay.
Take a look at
going back.
Blaze just comes down, runs a square out pattern, brings the ball in on a short pass. Good pursuit, good tackle by the East defender.
All right, we'll be back to punt. I believe it'll be number 11, Chris Chiaro, back to punt. Now, again, as Jim had pointed out, don't forget that we have the wind against the Lions for this first quarter. See how this punt goes.
Tom Estep should be deep for the
There's
Cougars.
a snap, good pressure on. It's a low kick. When it could be returned, no, it takes a good Cherry Hill West bounce, but it looks like it's down somewhere in the neighborhood of the 48-yard line on the Lions side of the field. So East will be starting in excellent, excellent field position for their first series on offense.
Records of these teams coming in today. The Cougars of Cherry Hill East with they're coming in at the 500 mark at a 4-4 record, while the Lions of Cherry Hill West still looking for their first win.
Yes, and also looking for their first offensive touchdown of the year, too, Jim. We have a fake into the line. Quarterback looking deep. There's a long pass downfield. We have a touchdown on the very first play from scrimmage. Oh, my goodness.
Well, everybody used to say Coach Bo Wood was a very, very conservative coach, and he used to grind it out on the field. I noticed they're running a wishbone offense now, and that time he just opened right up. Little play action fake into the line, and the long pass for the TD, Todd Azar, on about a 53-yard scoring strike.
Well,
that should bring in Mike Haskell to kick the extra point.
Fencing the extra point, Azar.
A couple choir boy huddles out there just to make sure everybody's staying honest on the field.
It will be Todd Azar attempting the extra point. Has to catch his breath from running down on the touchdown.
Kick is up. Signal is good. So we have a 7-0 score for the Cougars of Cherry Hill East. Now, Jim, now that we have a moment while they're setting up, talk a little bit about the inexperience of Cherry Hill West, and what do you think that's effect of this first play touchdown might have on the players from Cherry Hill West?
Well, with the inexperience of a team such as the Lions, of course, any time that a team can come out open up like that is really going to get your defense down. They're going to say, my God, this could go on all day long. And what they have to do is keep their heads up, get back into it, say, hey, look, it's the first offensive play of the ball game for Cherry Hill East. It's a long way to go, and we have to play good defense. Now, it's very seldom will you see a coach in high school football go for that long bomb on the opening play of the game. Usually they just sort of run the running plays, try to fill out the defense a little bit before they open up. And that time, Bo Witt elected to go with the big play. The little play action fake inside brought the secondary man up. Azar just went down, had the man beat, a perfectly thrown pass, TD.
Well, Azar will be kicking off here, his second time, kicking off very, very early. 2 times out. Chara will be deep again. And again, maybe that wind, Jim, is going to play a factor. If the Lions can't be able to move the ball, East is going to get that ball in good position several times in this quarter. Coming up the right sidelines, and again, the Cougars making good pursuit on the kickoff. Looks like there's a lot of missed blocks out there on the part of the Lions. They've got to be blocking those men if they expect to spring anybody for any kind of long gain on the kickoffs.
Well, this is a very important game for the Cougars at Cherry Hill East. Cherry Hill East have not known a losing season in quite a while, and they need this win today to have a 5-4 record. So they're not going to roll over. They're not going to take this game lightly. They're out there really hustling, and it shows on the coverages that's going downfield on the kickoffs, and of course we saw it on the opening offensive play.
Lions are on the 12-yard line. It looks like we have an encroachment penalty against the Cougars. Mike Cravetti's going to try, I imagine, during the period of the day to try to alter his signals so he can get the Cougars offsides. Any advantage that the Lions can have they're going to need it.
Well, of course, the Cougars are fired up again on that opening touchdown score. The defense is, hey, the offense were on the field one play and they scored a touchdown. We're going to do the same thing out here on defense, and that really gets things jumping. And as you mentioned, with Cravetti calling a difference cadence and trying to draw them off, that's just going to help things out.
Cravetti calling signals now. He's off to Chiara. Chiara with a good run, coming for at least 10 or 12 yards up the middle, looking for a first down, and I believe he's got it. No doubt about it, since it was 1st and 5.
Now, that was good blocking on the right side of the line. Here you see it again. They just open up a nice hole for Chiro to run through, and once he gets through, he knows what to do. He little jig step there, broke one tackle and picked up good yardage.
Yeah, Chris was the Lions' leading ground gainer last year. Again, maybe not this season. He did not perform to the levels that he did last year, but I would think that something has to be said about the quality of his line from last year. There's an inside handoff on a counter play. Nowhere, nobody's fooled for the East line on that play.
Little trap tackle, a tackle trap on the misdirection play, and as you mentioned, nobody was fooled. But you know, you mentioned Chris Shiro, and the difference is graduation really took a lot of that line away from Cherry Hill West last year. And,
no question.
The very inexperienced front line, and they're coming along. And as we saw on that one play by Shiro, they opened up a nice hole, but the consistency is not there yet, and that takes time to build that program up and to get that blocking going right.
2nd down and 9 here, as you see on your screen. Corvetti looking to pass. He's going deep down the right sideline, well covered by Cherry Hill East, and it's ball's incomplete. Good coverage by number 25. Good coverage by Jim Fullerton.
Okay, here we'll look at it again. A long pass, and the ball hangs up in the air a long time, and anytime that happens, the secondary has a good chance to run into the ball. Also, good effort by number 25, Jim Fullerton, for the interception. But also, I think we have to give Tommy Bass for Cherry Hill West credit for pulling Fullerton away from the ball, preventing the interception.
That's a case where the offensive man became the defensive man very, very quickly. So we got a 3rd down and 9, and again, the Lions need some first downs to get out of this hole that they're in. Can't emphasize enough the fact that there is this win from your right to your left. Corvetti's going back to pass again. He's under a rush. The ball's fumbled, but and the referee signals that Corvetti fell on it. But again, it's going to bring up 4th down, and Chiaro will have to come in and punt again.
And again, he is kicking into a fairly strong wind today, and it's going to give Cherry Hill East excellent field position once more.
Fourth down and 15. Long way to go. And I think, given the field position, there is not going to be any kind of fake punts back in this deep. Chiaro's going to try to get it out and let the defense do its best. Good snap. Not too much pressure. Looks like a pretty good kick. Taken by East. Good coverage by the Lions. And nice gang tackling there.
Number 70, Yale Epstein, for the Lions, down to make the stop. And here we'll look at Tommy Eastep on the replay. Takes ball, tries to pick up some good yardage, but Yale Epstein was right there, put the stop on him. But again, the Cougars of Cherry Hill East with good field position, 1st and 10.
Out near the 40-yard line, be 1st and 10.
Again, Cherry Hill East with the wishbone.
Looked like our cameraman was faked out himself a little bit there as the play went up the middle. He was watching the option by the quarterback.
Play went up the middle to the fullback, number 41, Jeff Felt, for the Cougars. To set that backfield, they have number 10 at quarterback, Dan Martis, number 41, Jeff Felt at fullback. The running backs will be number 20, Tom Eastep, number 30, Jay Reinert, with also Tommy Cohen, a freshman, alternating the plays in and out.
2nd and 4 for the Cougars. Play goes for a couple yards up the right side, so probably be about 3rd and 2 on the Lions side of the field.
Again, they're picking up good yardage right up the middle. We have to credit the front line of Cherry Hill East. Their center, number 54, Tony Del Vecchio. The guards, number 63, Joe Zielinski, with Chris Leo on the other side. The tackles, number 78, Mike Boudreau, and number 75, Big Stan Clayton. And they're just opening up some nice holes up the middle.
Last tackle was made by number 70, Yale Epstein. The play was brought in here, 3rd and 3 by Todd Azar, number 24. Let's see what the call is. Out of the wishbone again, a good hole opens up on the left side, and good running. And that will easily be the 1st down, again, moving deeper into Lion territory.
And Jeff Felt on that play showed that he's a good ball carrier. He will not go down with the first hit. He was hit a couple times, spun, twisted, and turned, and picked up some good yardage on his own 2nd effort.
Well, we have another 1st down for the Cougars at the Lion 39-yard line here. Still in the 1st quarter of play. Still in the 1st quarter. Looking to pass. And it's going incomplete.
Good coverage by the secondary of Cherry Hill West on that play. I was surprised that Martis even threw the ball. There was 2 to 3 Lion defenders right around his intended receiver. He should have thrown it in nickel seats. I'm sure it got Coach Bo Wood a little bit nervous.
Question is, though, if there are 2 to 3 on the receiver that he threw to, somewhere along the line, somebody was probably open that he just didn't pick out down the field. That's 2nd and 10 now. Again, out of the wishbone formation. Counter play for about fumble. Fumble.
Number 11, Shiro with the football.
But wait a
I
minute.
believe they're going to mark him down, though. That was.
Let's take a look at this again.
Number 20, Tommy Estep. You see the line opens a nice hole. A little shoestring tackle. That is a fumble. If they rule that down, I'm surprised. But that's what the indication appears to be.
Well, in any game like this, especially given the history of West and against East, if the breaks start going against West early, they could be in for a long day. They really do need the breaks. Quarterback throwing over the middle, and it's complete. Couldn't quite see who it was to there. That was to Todd Azar there. Okay.
To thank the PA announcer.
We couldn't quite see it there.
Okay.
First down again.
They finished setting the offense of Cherry Hill East. Their tight end, number 87, Bruce Welsh, and their wideout, number 24, Todd Azar. And I'll set the defense of Cherry Hill West after this play.
1st and 10. Inside handoff and good running. Towards the end of that play, some very bad tackling by the Lions, and it's in for another touchdown for Cherry Hill East. Well, Jim, you look at here it is again.
Looks like Felt, Jeff Felt, breaking some nice tackles. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, this kid Felt can really break some tackles and pick up yardage, and there he did a lot on his second effort, and he goes in for the score. Good effort by the young man, Jeff Felt, for the Cougars.
And again, as we talked about breaks, that what we said was basically a fumble on a few plays back has turned into another touchdown for Cherry Hill East. So right now the breaks are not going in favor of the Lions. Kick is up, and the official signal is good. So it's now Cherry Hill East 14 versus West nothing. Still in the first quarter.
Mark, I don't know what happened that time, but Todd Azar was not in there to kick the extra point. That was the youngster, Mike Haskell, coming in. And I don't know whether Azar has been injured or just what happened. We'll keep our eye on it.
Well, yeah, Haskell's a soccer-style kicker as opposed to Azar.
Flew straight on, and for some reason, Azar was not there.
So it'll be the 3rd kickoff already in the first quarter for Cherry Hill East. The kickers are getting a good workout here with the wind. And again, I must say, and I would think you'd agree, Jim, that the Lions' inability to move the ball across midfield has given the Cougars excellent field position, and they've taken advantage of it both times.
Well, of course, Cherry Hill Cougars are playing in that South Jersey North Conference, which is a very competitive football conference, and they've been in most of the games that they've played in. As I mentioned, they've won 4. Where on the other hand, Cherry Hill West definitely in a building year this year. As I mentioned, coming in 0-8. They're going to come, though.
Well, that looked like Azar kicking off there. Kick is going very, very deep. And it will not even be run out. I believe Chris Jarrow, yes, he just let that one go.
And wise move by Chris to let it go for the touchback, and Cherry Hill West will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 20. And as you mentioned, Azar back, and they're kicking off, so perhaps he just was out of gas a little bit, or Charlie horse, or any number of things could have developed.
One interesting thing, I think that for those of you who have watched the pro game a lot, with kickoffs, you do not have to down the ball, and you do not have to cover it if you're on the team. You can just let it go in there, and it's an automatic touchback, unlike pro football where you have to. And, well, here we go. We'll get back to that in a minute. Another long pass, but well out of bounds. Good coverage again, and Cravetti's trying to throw against a tough wind, and that ball is hanging up there. Jim, here's the replay.
Here we look at it. Cravetti comes back on a little bit of a sprint out, looks downfield, but again, he's throwing these long passes into a strong breeze, and that breeze is just going to hold it up in the air, gives the defense time to react, to get under it, but either way, had it been completed, it would have gone out of bounds.
Second down 10. Again, the Lions are trying desperately to get first down so they can move this ball. Corvetti calling signals. Handoff and no go. Good tackling by the Cherry Hill East Cougars.
Number 63 for the Cougars, Joe Zielinski, the first man to come up and make the stop. Really beat his block and was almost in the backfield. To set the defensive line for the Cherry Hill East Cougars, I haven't had time to do that yet. Their ends be Brian May and Bruce Welsh. Their tackles, number 78, Mike Boudreau, and number 75, Stan Clayton. The middle guard, number 63, Joe Zielinski. At linebackers, have 74, Rich Trobman, and number 30, Jay Reinert. Cornerbacks, Jim Fullerton and Tommy Nugent. And their safeties, Tom Estep and John Phillips.
Third down and 12 for the Lions. Trying to move out here at about their own 30-yard line. He looks to pass. Oh, almost picked off. And if that had been intercepted, he would have had clear sailing. Here we go, another replay.
Look at it now. The linebackers are reading pass. They drop back into the hook zones. It looks like Trobman, number 74, just gets his hands up to deflect the pass. A good play, but a good defensive effort by Rich Trobman of Cherry Hill East.
So Chiaro will be back for the third time already in this quarter to punt into this wind. He's going to be punting the ball from about his own 10-yard line. He needs a real good punt to get the Lions out of some trouble. Kick is high. It looks like a real good one. Nice floater. Taking a good bounce. Going dead somewhere in the neighborhood of the 50-yard line, where the Cougars again will take over.
But there again, the Cherry Hill East Cougars in excellent field position on all of their possessions, and the opposite true of the Lions of Cherry Hill West. They just can't get out of the hole, so to speak. And when you're working back so deep in your own territory, it's very difficult to move the football and get the breaks. And here again, field position can be so important in any football game.
48-yard line of the Cougars, the first and 10. Out of the wishbone again, handoff, and they cross midfield. Every possession, they've been across midfield, and the Lions have not yet crossed that barrier.
Well, number 41, the fullback for the Cougars, Jeff Felt, doing yeoman's work out there today. He's probably carried the ball at least half the numbers of plays that the Cougars have been running and picking up good yardage, a lot of it on his own.
Well, most of the teams that do run a wishbone in high school or college, they rely on that fullback. He's got to be a good ball player. Second down and 7, so that was a gain of 3. Just over midfield. Hand off to one of the tailbacks there, and it looks like about a 5-yard gain over the right side.
There's a play where they faked to the fullback as usual. The quarterback just did a little reverse pivot and gave off to the right halfback up the middle, and a good gainer.
Bring about a third down and 2, third 2 or 3 for the Cougars, as we're getting near the end of the first quarter, and one which the Lions would like to start all over again here. They're down 14-0 already. Our cameraman's been faked out now. He will pick up the play. Good run around the left end.
It was a pitch back, Jay Reinert. Here we can look at it again on the replay. Quarterback pitches right there to number 30, Jay Reinert, and he's going to pick up some yardage. Good pursuit by the Lions. Up comes number 25, Blaze Salvatore,
yes,
to
make the tackle
and pushes Reinert out of bounds.
Well, it's first and 10, and it's the 34-yard line in the Lions, and again, the Cougars are driving. Lions are going to need some staunch defense here to hold back the Cougars. Back to pass. Oh, incomplete over the middle. Looked like he had his man.
It was 84, Richardson for
Here
Cherry Hill East, or Cherry Hill West, almost picking this ball off, I believe.
Second down, 10.
Number 82, Richardson, back there.
Second and 10 for the Cougars here.
Of the line.
Or rather make that Robertson for Cherry Hill West.
Pitch by the quarterback. Good defense by the Lions that time for only a gain of 1. They looked like they had that play pretty well read.
And that was probably the best defensive play by the Lions of Cherry Hill West thus far in a ball game. And you know, Mark, anytime the defense can get a play like that, they can really fire things up and turn ball games around. And the momentum, of course, so far has been all Cherry Hill East. But the Lions, if they can get a big play, they could get a break, they could cough up a fumble, could really change the momentum around a little bit. And we still have a lot of football to go.
Long time. Still here in the first quarter.
Ball at the Lions 34.
34-yard line here at the Cougars. Back to pass. Screen set up to the right side. Good blocking out in front. Good run. And it appears that he's a little short of the first down. Can't really see right here until they spot the ball, but we'll check and see where they are.
That was a screen pass out to the tight end, Bruce Welsh, who picked up good yardage on it, and I believe
Well,
it
looks,
is a
yeah,
first down.
I was watching them move the chains, Jim, and it is a 1st and 10. Again, oh, there we go. That'll be the end of the first quarter. And as you see on the TV screen there, and you hear in the background, it's the East Cougars 14 and the West Lions no score.
Well,
unfortunately, folks, while we were going through our motions here as announcers, our camera crew, and we had some technical foul-ups, and you unfortunately missed the third Cherry Hill East touchdown, but that score that you see is correct. We've already gone into a couple minutes into the second quarter here, and the Cougars are leading 21-0. There's a good picture of Chris Chiaro taking that kickoff now, and nice coverage by number 82, and there's a fumble. We got a penalty flag. A lot happening on that play. Let's see what it's all about. Here it is again in slow-mo.
Shiro takes the ball, looks upfield. The Cougar defenseman tackler is going to be coming into the picture right
now.
now.
Number 82, John Zach.
Well, I don't exactly know what Chris Shiro was trying to do there. Probably the penalty. He threw the ball forward.
Intentional fumble. Oh, a nice try. I've seen it work in the pro game one time when Ken Stabler did that with the Oakland Raiders, but they didn't call it against him. But they're going to get it called against him here with the Lions.
Anytime the man carrying the ball puts it up in the air and throws it forward, it's an illegal forward pass, and that's going to be the penalty.
Yep.
Maybe it was the fact he got spun around and he thought he was lateraling the ball.
Well, trying to get some kind of... There's Crovetti going back to pass, looking down the sidelines, and it's picked off by the Cougars at Cherry Hill East. Oh, boy.
Number 30.
The pass was for Chiaro. Defensive back will step in front nicely, pick it off, and again, the Cougars are knocking at the door again of the west end zone.
I believe that was number 30, Tommy Reinert, making the interception for the Cougars.
Well, I wonder now, Jim, with the score 21-0, if the decision on the coaching staff was not to pull out all the stops. I mean, down 3 touchdowns in a season where your offense hasn't scored, I guess you got to do some different things, and throwing the ball must have been one. Oh, here. So we go. One of the East runners going over the left side there and making up good yardage, and I think the Lion defense is going to have to really tighten up here, because any more touchdowns in this game will be out of hand. There's no way that they can allow the Cougars to score any more here in the first half. Just can't do it.
Well, the defense of the Lions have been on the field just about the whole ball game so far, and they're getting tired. They're getting beat out there a little bit. And the offense, of course, always has the advantage because they know where they're going. The defense must react to it, and they're really getting physically hit out there, so they're becoming tired. But as you said, they have to pull it in right now. They have to stop the Cougars. That's a must in order to change the momentum around. The Cougars have not been stopped thus far in the ballgame.
Well, if you look at the comparative size statistics of some of these players, there's no question that East is by far the bigger team. You got Stanley Clayton, who's 240, 6'4", and no one on the West team at all approaches that kind of size. So you're going to have people that are going to be able to do some things up on that line. It's 3rd and 7.
Good pursuit by the defense of the Lions that time
Good swarming defense.
to cause, I believe, the first loss of the ball game for the Cougars.
Reinert appears to have been stopped by a flock of Lion tacklers.
No doubt about it. You could hear in the background, a host of Lion tacklers did make the tackle. So we're going to have a fourth down now. And judging by the field position, there's no way that East is going to be punting.
Ball at the Lions 31.
And there's a timeout on the field with the score, Cherry Hill East 21, and the Lions of Cherry Hill West, no score. We're going to get the huddles there, trying to take a little break, deciding what play they're going to run. Again, coaching staff on the west side must be very concerned now. They would had hoped to come out of this first half with a close score, and therefore maybe with the element of surprise or a trick play somewhere along the line, try to take this game away in the second half. But that has not worked out, with the Cougars of Cherry Hill East driving the ball in for 2 first-quarter touchdowns and one early on that unfortunately we missed due to some technical difficulties. But it scores 21-0, and they are in striking distance of another one for the fourth down.
But that's the key right there. It's fourth down. If the Lions can hold the Cougars on this play, that could be a very important turning point for the Lions of Cherry Hill West. They really need to really suck it in right now, really get tough, and really stop the Cougars on this play. There's a shot of Bo Wood leaving his huddle, the head coach of the Cougars.
Dan Martis is the quarterback for East. He'll be calling the signal. I'm sure Bo Wood gave them the play when he was in there. Lions moving into their coverage. Appears to be a 5-2. Out of the wishbone again, Martis back. Throwing a screen over here to the right. Good blocking in front. Number 87 with the ball, gaining good yardage. We'll just have to see where they spot the ball. And that was number 87, Bruce Welch, 6'3", 220 senior.
Here we look at it again. A little play fake to the left. Martis comes back, drops back, turns. He's going to find Bruce Welch, number 87, with 2-3 blockers out in front of him.
Nice camera work there. Good angle shot.
Here he cuts to the outside, tries to get the corner turn.
That's Scott Dean, number 24, in pursuit, and he will finally catch up, along with 25, Blaze Salvatore. Oh, what do you know? 4th and 12, and they pick up the first down. First down for the Cougars. Quarterback keeper.
Not sure that was a design play. By the look on Martis's face, it looked like he turned to give to somebody. Let's see here. Comes back. He looks. Well, could have been just a quarterback draw or quarterback delay, however you want to call it, and picks up a few yards.
Well, second down and 7 at the Lions, about the 12-yard line, and again, it's getting close to another score, which could really put this game in serious problems for the Lions. There he's back to pass. He's keeping the ball. He's going to try to run around right end. He still is able to get a couple yards before being tripped up.
Finally tackled or tripped up by number 26, Scott Dean, or Dean Smith, rather.
Yeah, Dean Smith, sophomore. Hard-nosed football player out there.
But as you mentioned, a sophomore, and this is one of the problems with Cherry Hill West this year, is the inexperience. The younger players are on the field. Now, of course, these guys will develop as they come along, and hey, next year, the following year, West, I really believe will be a competitive football team.
Well, both programs, Jim, have the freshmen in the JV programs had very successful years this year and were, as you say, very competitive. So only time will tell what these young players will do. There's a pass across the middle, and it's a touchdown. It looked like some missed coverage back there, and again, you can't give the quarterback that kind of time to throw the football, and now it's 27-0 here in the second quarter.
That was big number 87, Bruce Welsh, the tight end for the Cougars, going down on a post pattern, completing the pass in the end zone for the TD.
see if we have that one on instant replay.
Lions, nothing.
Now, it doesn't look like we do right now as they're getting ready to kick the extra point. Todd Azar is in to kick the extra point. So far, he's 3 for 3. He'll be kicking this one into the wind, however. Good snap, good place. Kick is up. Looks very good to me. Official score, yes it is. It's 28-0 in favor of the Cougars.
Well, Todd Azar does have a legitimate foot out there. Kicking into the wind, that ball would have gone at least another 15 yards had he been out for a field goal or something. Just a good, strong foot on the young man. And, of course, by everything else he's been doing in the ball game today, a very fine athlete.
As you see up there, ladies and gentlemen, it's 28-0 here in the second quarter, and with the Cherry Hill East band, as you could barely see in the background, it's getting close to halftime now. Half that I'm sure the Lions would so far like to forget, but maybe they can put something on the board before the half goes. I know the fans in those stands would be very, very happy to see the offensive team score a few times during this game, Jim. Hasn't happened all year.
Getting off Azar. Deep. Number 13, Tom Bass.
Now, Tom Bass is now deep instead of Chris Chiaro as Azar gets set to kick. Good kick against that wind. Here comes Bass coming up on the football. Heading down the right now. He decides to come back into the middle. Looks like a whole host of Cougar tacklers there, and yes. Oh, the ball has popped out. Is that a fumble? Oh, let's take a look at it again. I can't see the referee's signal, but I believe that, yes. No, they've called him down. They've called him down.
Well, you see Tommy Bass trying to cut to the outside, come over. Now the Cougars tacklers comes up, and finally Tommy Nugent, number 43, puts him down. He's down when the ball comes out of there. However, another close one, and this one goes for the Lions. So
I guess they have a way of evening things out.
Well, the officials, they do yeoman's work out there. That's a tough job. The men in the stripes out there are loved by one team, hated by the other, and it changes from one play to the next.
You can never win. Off of the right side on a 1st and 10, the Lions. Very, very little yardage there. The defensive line of Cherry Hill East has just been able to manhandle the offensive line of the Lions right now. They're just not, with a couple exceptions, not able to open up any holes at all.
Well, that side of the Lions, big guys for the Cougars. Joe Zielinski, Stan Clayton, and Bruce Welsh. They're all big ones over there, and they're tough to move out of there.
Well, the key thing to that, then, you got to be quicker than them, and that's what you're going to have to rely on. If they're bigger, you're going to have to be faster than they are. 2nd and 9, Crevetti calling signals. Had a pro left setup. Uh-oh, as his arm was hit as he was ready to pass, and I believe that'll be an incompleted pass.
No,
Wait a minute. No.
Calling it a touchdown. I hope we have this on replay to take one look. It appeared that his hand was going
Let's
forward.
See what here it is again.
Crevetti goes back, looks downfield, sets. His hand appeared to me to be going forward. I'd have to question that call.
I would too. Now,
however, Bruce Welsh, number 87 for the Cougar, continues to go over towards the ball. Finally picked up. Let's see if it's Tommy Nugent. No, it's 41, I believe.
Yeah, it's 41, Jeff Felt.
Jeff Felt picked it up and took it in. Good heads-up football plan by the Cougars, not knowing whether the ball was dead or not. Just continue on the play and go for the touchdown.
Well,
if it was. But the call itself, questionable in my mind.
But you're very, very right in that, Jim. No question. You got to play until you hear that whistle, and even so, you got to carry that. Boy, oh boy, 35-0 here in the second quarter, and when things are going wrong, I guess things are going wrong, and they're not going to. It's going to take a heck of a lot of effort and a lot of luck now that alter this score, 35-0. I think that I've been watching East-West games since my brother played in the very first one, and I don't remember a first half being quite this bad.
No, I've seen quite a few of them myself over the years. Coached in one too many years ago to mention, but it's just a shame. It's that snowball effect, just like a small snowball rolling down a mountainside. It just continues to grow and grow, and the whole thing's just mushroomed out out of proportion right now. I don't think that the team should be that far apart, except things are just going right for the Cougars, and nothing's going right for the Lions of Cherry Hill West yet thus far in the ball game. And as we said, it just mushroomed out.
Well, here's their sixth kickoff of the day so far in the first half. Kickers are getting a good workout for the Cougars, and the receive men are getting a good workout for the Lions. In the background, it's Tommy Bass taking the kickoff, going down to the right sideline, and again, great pursuit. No, he's been able to get outside on this one. And he got out there. That's a pretty good return for the Lions. Probably their best field position. Looks like at about the 35-yard line.
One of the
We have an injured player down there, Jim, right now.
Looks like a Lion down on the field. Here we see Tommy Bass turning the corner. All right, once he turns the corner, he picks up an additional 7, 10, about 12 yards. Let's see if we can see the injured player.
Looked like number 13 to me.
Bass, the ball carrier. Shiro goes nowhere. There's number 63, Zielinski, again in on a tackle. He's the middle guard for the Cougars. But getting back to that kickoff return by Bass, the thing that impressed me most about him on that time was how he took the ball, put it in his right arm, which allows his left arm, the arm towards the defenders, to be used as a weapon or a straight arm device. And that's so important. And any of the younger players, midget players, or anybody watching football out there, it's a very important thing to get the ball in the opposite hand from the defenders.
Sure, because they'll come in there with that head or that hand to strip that ball, knock it out with a helmet or something like that. Number 41 for the Lions in motion, Crevetti rolling. Now he's looking to pass. He tried to dump it off. It wouldn't have gone for a very big gain anyway because he was under tremendous pressure. Pressure.
Looks like as he's coming down on the replay, a lot of pressure being put on Bruce Welsh. 87 grabs him, and he just happens to throw the ball in the vicinity, though. Scott Dean, number 26, the fullback, was out there, so they should not rule intentional grounding on this. But let's see. I believe they may have. I see.
Well, it's third down still.
Third and 22,
There's
though.
no doubt about it that they did that.
I'm surprised because, Scott Dean Smith, was there, number 26.
Well, so far, as you say, when things are going wrong, they're going to continue. And there's an incompleted pass on the 3rd and 22, and I'm sure that the Lions will be punting.
That was intended for number 24, Scott Dean, on that pass play. But I'm surprised. It did look like they ruled intentional grounding, and there could have been a holding penalty or something else that we missed on that play.
Just think of some of the things that have happened so far over the first half. There was a play in the first quarter where the Cougars were driving. They apparently fumbled the ball with Chiaro recovering, but the officials ruled it dead, and they went in to score. Then Crevetti back to pass. His arm was, as far as we could see, was definitely in motion to pass. They ruled it a fumble. The Cougars took it in. So there's been some breaks that have gone. Definitely the Cougars with low snap. Good pickup by Chiaro. He gets the kick away. Doesn't look like his best effort to the day, but it's getting a good bounce, and it's going, very nice kick under the circumstances. Deep down at approximately the 35-yard line of the Cougars, and the Cougars will take over with not much time on the clock here in the second quarter. And I'm sure the Lions would rather get out of this and try to regroup and see what they can do for the second half. Don't forget, folks, stick around. You have a very excellent halftime with all of the floats and the homecoming queens from both schools, and, of course, the Cougar marching band. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Hand off to number 23, Tom Cohen. He's a freshman.
Tommy Cohen, his brother Andy Cohen played football as a guard for the Cougars last year. He's now in college at Gettysburg, and Andy happens to be a lifeguard at the swim club I work at in the summer, and I'm sure between the record at Gettysburg that he's doing this year, and, of course, Tommy doing here, keeping Mom and Dad, Ken and Grace, going very happy.
There we go. At the end of the first half, we have the score of Cherry Hill East 35 and the Lions of Cherry Hill West nothing. As you were bringing up Gettysburg, another Cherry Hill East alum graduate is there this year doing very nice things. Good old Brian Barr.
And I understand you have some work to do down on the field now.
Yes, I have a few things I have to take care of on the field of play, and I'll be back after halftime. But again, join the halftime festivities and stick with us here on the Cherry Hill Educational Station for Cherry Hill Public Schools with the East-West football game.
And now, for the last halftime show of the 1982 season, with a warm Thanksgiving spirit, let's welcome the award-winning Cherry Hill East Marching Band. seniors are representative of the highest caliber students. Therefore, we would like to dedicate this performance to all of the senior marching band members and ask them at this time to stand and be recognized. Thank you, seniors. Mothers and fathers of senior band members may pick up corsages in the stands in front of the band. It has been our pleasure to have performed for you these past several weeks. The students and staff of the Cherry Hill East Band wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
As you see some balloons flying across the field here at the end of the halftime ceremonies. Score is Cherry Hill East 35, Cherry Hill West nothing.
Just to recap some of the scoring in the first half, or all the scoring, was all Cherry Hill East, of course. Martis found Azar on the opening offensive play of the game for the Cougars on a 42-yard passing play. Azar came in for the extra point to make it 7-0 at that time. Then Felt with a 22-yard run. Azar did not come in to kick the extra point that time. It was the young man Haskell, and the kick was good, 14-0. Then we missed the next touchdown, making it 21-0 right at the beginning of the second period. Then the fourth score came Martis to Welsh, and Azar with the kick, making it 28-0. Then Felt recovered a Cherry Hill West fumble, took it into the end zone for the score. Azar with the kick, 35-0 at this point.
And now we're starting action here in the beginning of the third quarter as the Lions kick off to the Cougars. And the Cougars will take over at their own, looks like the 45-yard line here. Terry Robb was on the tackle here for the Lions. We got 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And again, the Lions have going to try to pull together and put together a good second half here to get some momentum going for next year. As funny as it might sound, but they need it. Good run by the Cougars for about 7 or 8 yards. Here's a replay, Jim.
Okay, it looks like Coach Bo Woods made some wholesale substitutions. They're running the wishbone again. Give to the first man, the fullback, the quarterback, number 14 now in the game in place of Martis is Michael Goldstein. And we'll try to pick up the changes as we see them. It could be a complete substitution of the ball players for the Cougars. Let's see.
2nd and 3. And the Cougars on the attack. Appear that they have the first down. And they do have the first down. The tackle was made by number 26, Dean Smith of the Lions. And the first down statistics are well in favor of Cherry Hill East. Not too many for the Lions. Another run, and it takes 3-4 guys to bring down this Cougar running attack. Running very, very hard back there in the backfield. You have those changes, Jim?
Well, I'm picking them up as we go. I see number 87, Bruce Welsh, is out of the ballgame. He's been replaced by number 83, Brian Carr. Tommy Cohen was the running back, the young freshman running back. Mike Goldstein is, as I say, quarterback. We'll pick him up as we go on.
2nd down and 5 for the Cougars as they just cross midfield at the Lion 49. And there's another big hole over the left side of the first man through. Here we got on a replay.
Here we see it again. Little fake to the fullback. Reverse pivot gives to the halfback up the other side. Picks up good yardage. Faked the cameraman out a little bit, but a good gainer by the Cougars of Cherry Hill East.
And Mike Trost of Cherry Hill West overran the play a little bit. Penetrated a little too deep off the line of scrimmage, and halfback was by him. And another first down play here by the Cougars.
Trying to get the number. Looks like
number
number
40.
That's David Carey. He's a junior for the Cougars, and he's replacing Feld at fullback.
So in essence, I guess what we're looking at right now, Jim, is a second team unit or so from the Cherry Hill East Cougars.
Goldstein going to run wide.
And there we go. We caught the tail end of that play. We kind of missed it at the bottom of your screen there.
But you know, Mark, I think that says a lot for head coach Bo Wood of the Cherry Hill East Cougars. The game's well in hand, 35-0 for the Cougars, and his first team's out there. And of course, a lot of those guys on that first team, they don't want to sit on the bench. This is their last football game. Some of them will ever play football, and they want to be out on the field. But Bo Wood says, hey, let's let the younger guys get out there and play. And if they go, if the second team can do it, they'll do it. If not, Cherry Hill West will have a fighting chance in the second half.
Back to pass, and it's knocked down again, or they call that a fumble.
Going to call it a fumble.
And it appears number 80 recovered that for the Lions.
It'd be Mark Roma.
Yeah, Mark Roma, he's a senior defensive end. So the best field possession West has had best field position that West has had all day, their own 48 caused by a fumble by the Cougars of Cherry Hill East. Same basic lineup here for the Lions. And there's Chris Chiaro running around left end. It looks good, folks, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to go all the way for the first offensive touchdown of the season for Cherry Hill West. How about that? And it looks like that they've, the fans are excited on the opposite side of the field. The team is excited. It's been a long time. Jim, you realize that since they didn't score last year in this game, and here we got it on replay.
Slow-mo replay. Corvetti turns, gives to Shiro, goes right, cuts back, and makes a nice cut to the left, comes back wide, just outruns the defenders. Number 35 was moving up, had to go back. Shiro had him beat. It looked like the other man may have lost his footing, but whatever. Shiro is off to pay dirt. He's a good football player, good all-around athlete. Chris Shiro goes in for the Cherry Hill Lions' first offensive touchdown since, I believe, the 8th game of last season.
That's exactly right, yes. And on to kick the extra point. Kick is up. It looks like a nice camera shot, and it's through the uprights, and we have scored 35-7. Cherry Hill West. The West Lions have scored.
That should have been Rob Collins, or excuse me, Rich DePasquale
I believe that's
kicking
who it was,
the extra
DePasquale.
point. Bob Collins should come on the field now for the kickoff, and there's a happy bunch of Lions. You know, it's just a super feeling, of course, for the Lions to get that first score on the board, even though it's at the end of the season. It still is very meaningful for every one of the young men on the Lions football team who's out there, who's been working hard all the way since September, the beginning of September, from those long days. You know, you got to give these young men credit, and believe me, they'll be taking a lot of things into their lives that they'll look back to their football experience, win or lose, but the teamwork and everything else involved with football, they'll have fond memories looking back on this year.
Yeah, and again, I think that it would be only fitting that Chris Chiaro is the man who scored it for the Lions this year as the first offensive touchdown. He's a very good running back, and it was nice to see him cross the end line. So kicking off now for the Lions, and
Should be Collins. I believe Rob Collins kicking off.
it's tough to see sometimes from our vantage point here with the numbers. Kick is low with the wind, taken by, no, it looks like it skips away from the East player. Now it's picked up again, back at the 5-yard line by number 20 for the Cougars, coming up the middle, and there's a flag on the play coming from the middle, and I would, judging by where that flag was thrown, I would think it'd probably be an illegal block or some holding on the Cougars.
Probably a clip. On your returns like that, a clip is a very easy thing to do for especially an inexperienced team.
And that was the signal.
Let's
It
see if
was
we
a
can
clip.
pick it up. Right there, right at the bottom of the screen there, I think we saw the clip. You know, flags being thrown in that direction. It was, you know, it's just a very difficult thing to prevent at times, depending on the movement of somebody turning to go for the ball carrier. But, hey, you got to prevent those clips. They're very serious, can be devastating, can really knock somebody's wheels out for a long, long time, if not forever. And a good call by the official, and again, safety is one of the main concerns of the officials.
And here we go. We got a first down run, taking them out of that hole that clip brought. I mean, excellent run around the left end. Let's take a look at it again, Jim.
See if we can pick it up and get a number. Let's see, the quarterback still has the ball, I believe. He's going to pitch or he's going to keep.
He's staying with it.
Okay. It's a quarterback all the way. Stop made by Dean Smith.
Number 16, was that?
Number 14, I believe. That's Michael Goldstein.
Nice run by that young quarterback. Nice run. So we'll have a 1st and 10 for the Cougars getting near midfield. Cameraman having trouble with the work here, and here we're coming outside. Number 35 on the run. Nice run, hard run.
That's Joe Kish. See if we
And number 55, Anthony Calzaretto on the tackle.
Joe Kish, 5'10", 170-pound junior. Finally forced out of bounds by number 55, Calzaretto.
Right.
Tony Calzaretto, the linebacker.
I have another penalty against the Cougars this time, so it's
all for naught. It will come back. And then some.
yeah. One thing coaches try to coach, and I know it must drive them berserk sometimes, is to stay away from those big penalties, especially when the plays are not anywhere near you. Sometimes the clippings and when the runner's already by, and sometimes the players get a little overzealous, and
That's why coaches get gray hair very rapidly. Good run by the fullback. That's number 40 in the game now, David Carey.
that was Blaze Salvatore on the tackle there, Jim. Salvatore, senior, playing his final game.
See if Blaze makes it to class on time Monday morning.
Ball at the junior 42.
42-yard line of the Cherry Hill East. Pitch by the quarterback to the tailback, and he's got a good run here going. Nice tackle. Was that ball loose? No, it looks like he was down.
There again, that's number 23, the freshman Tommy Cohen.
And Blaise Salvatore on the tackle.
Here we'll see it again. Good fake by the quarterback. And the pitch out. Good pitch right in front of the man where it should be. It's Tommy Cohen. Gets the corner turned. Picks up some nice yards before he's tackled finally by Blaise Salvatore. Blaise Salvatore playing as safety today. Blaise has played all around that offense and defensive
He's been
line.
in just about everywhere this season. He's played a number of different positions, and he's always done what he's been asked to do. Cougars here are moving with the ball in the third quarter, and it looked like I saw another penalty flag going in there, Jim.
By the reaction of the Lions, I believe you're right. They come up with a football somehow. Let's see if
what
it's
the
just
call
a penalty
is.
or there was a fumble.
Yeah, we got a face mask. No, it's against the Lions for grabbing the face mask. That's another one that is a real bad penalty, Jim. Unlike the pro rules where they have an unintentional grab, which is only a 5-yard penalty, in high school football, it's all 15.
Well, it's such an important thing. I wouldn't want them to change that penalty. That's not one of the ones I'd like to see changed. Maybe the pass interference is one that really should be changed. But the face mask, a neck injury can develop so easily from that, inadvertently or intentionally. The same injury can occur, and that's why they make it such a stiff penalty to let the young men. Hey, you don't grab the guy's face mask because, you know, if you've ever been to a rehabilitation center or so forth and saw anybody with a severe neck injury, that's just a good rule to stay with. It's just, you know, it can just so easily turn into a severe injury.
Well, that'll give the Cougars a first down. No, it'll be the Lions had a first down, but evidently they must have recovered the football. Or 24-yard line. Crovetti's still a quarterback. He's a junior. He'll be back next year. There's Charo on the pitch to the right side, trying to get some yardage, but 2 or 3 East tacklers there. Here we go to Jim.
We'll look at it again. Crovetti turns, quick pitch on a reverse pivot out to Shiro. Again, a nice pitch out in front of him, but good reaction by the Cougar to come up there. Shiro, good move, and picks up a couple yards on his own second effort.
Well, the job of that man out there is to contain that play and turn it inside, and it looked like he did his job, and that's where his support forces have got to be there. Second down for the Lions. Crovetti calling signals. Heading off up the middle, another good run. It looks, oh, yes, here comes Charo around the left side. And Chris has been able to break a couple so far in this second half for some good yardage. Let's take a look at it again. Here's the instant replay.
Here he goes, very similar to Shiro's touchdown run. Cuts to the outside, cuts left, back against the flow. Puts a nice move on here, gets the corner turned. And that's so important for a running back. Once he turns the corner, he can pick up some yards. Number 35 coming over to slow him down, and then some help by number 23, Tommy Cohen, to finally do the job. But a good run by Chris Shiro.
Yeah, it looked like the play was designed to go up the middle, but being the good runner that he is, he read where the hole was and moved it to the outside. Crovetti's back to pass. Kind of lost things there with the...
I believe it was a completed pass.
Yes, it was. Cohen was on the tackle for the Cougars, and have to see where the... 47-yard line. Again, the Lions are getting close to midfield, which they've been there a couple times during this second half, which is nice, in addition to their touchdown. Cougars stacking in tight inside. Crovetti calling out the signals. And it's a very short game by the Lions. Ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line. And we have a 1st and 10. Now, the only need was about a yard, so they picked it up. 1st and 10.
Did not get it by much, but of course it's a game of inches, and that's all they need.
Crovetti back, and he's looking deep downfield for Bass, and it's tipped away. Nice defensive coverage by...
And they will pick up that number on the replay. Ready, comes back, a little play action fake, then sets, plenty of time, throws the ball way downfield, a good arm, good move by the defensive man there to go up for the interception. Almost caught on the deflection by Tommy Bass, however. And
That makes it 2nd and 10. I wasn't real sure who that was. I thought it was number 23, Tom Cohen back there on defense, but not quite sure. Got a man in motion coming now, Scott Dean. Pitch out to the left. We got a fumble. And let's see who's got the ball up. Still the Lions. See what happened on this play.
Here goes the pitch. Let's see if Shiro never got control of the pitch is what happened. The ball went down. Shiro went for the ball. I think you're going to see there the ball comes out of the bottom of the pile.
And who's that? Is that Crevetti on top of that?
We'll see. I could not pick up the number.
But that was good hustle on the part of that line player to keep on following the play as it was going to the left side. So many times you'll see people giving up. You've got to continue out until you hear that whistle. You never know what's going to happen in this game. Crevetti rolling out to the right. Looks like he wants to pass. He is looking downfield. He's throwing long downfield. Good coverage and well overthrown. Scott Dean, number 24, down deep, but there was no chance to catch that one. Good coverage by the Cougars.
Here we look again on the sprint out pass. Crevetti sprints wide, right. Looking down, reading pass all the way as the defense. Sets up, 77 putting some pressure on. He finally unloads, and again, he does have the arm. He can throw the ball downfield, and he overthrows everybody, which is probably a good play on his part there. It was two defenders, two guys in red shirts down there. He just overthrew everybody. He may have done that intentionally.
Chris Charo is going to be back to punt. Seems like he's been punting a great deal today. Cougars not allowing the Lions to do too much offensively. Ball's a little low. Gets the kick away. It's going down the middle of the field. Now it's bouncing to the left where the East player will take it. Coming up, number 20 avoids 2 tackles before he's finally driven out of bounds. That was Tom Eastep. Driven out of bounds by number 50 for the Cougars. For the Lions, number 50.
It's Joe Olivo.
Yeah, Joe Olivo. So the Cougars will take over in their own territory here in the quarter number 3. Pretty important quarter for the Lions so far. They've scored a touchdown, and they've held the Cougars scoreless. Inside handoff, and the ball's loose. Who's got it? Lion players are signaling they do, but the officials look like he's signaling east. We'll wait for it. Yes, it is. Still remains east ball.
Doesn't matter what the guys in the helmets signal. It's got to be that guy in the white hat.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. Here we go.
Get good penetration by, I believe that's Epstein, for Cherry Hill West to cause that fumble. Looked like number 70, Yale Epstein, breaking through there from his defensive tackle's position and was almost there to take the handoff.
2nd and 12 now for the Cougars here, and the Lion defense is playing pretty well this second half. We have a pitch back to the tailback, and he comes around the the left side for a pretty good gain.
Number 35, Joe Kish again. The Cougars, of course, with a complete different unit in there in the second half. Number 84 for the Cougars, John Zerberline, I believe is the pronunciation, carrying the play in from Coach Bo Wood.
Again, out of that wishbone attack, going to the fullback up the middle for a gain of about 5. And that's good enough for a first down as signaled by the officials.
Number 55, Tony Calzaretto, in on the stop. He's the linebacker for the Lions.
Well, right now, here we are still in the third quarter, and for those of you who might be just joining us, the score is Cherry Hill East 35 and Cherry Hill West 7. Cougars again out of the wishbone, give it to the tailback. Gain of about 3. And for those of you who just joined us, it was all Cherry Hill East in the first half, scoring all 35 points of this, their scoring in the first half. 2nd down and 6 for the Cougars, still in their own territory, and we got to be getting close to the end of the third quarter here. To the fullback. No, it's the keeper. But yes, it is to the fullback. Oh, who's got it? We're getting faked out here, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's on first? Quarterback kept the ball in a good defensive effort by the Lions, and that's going to be the end of the third period.
35-7, as you see in the score. And with those plays, usually it's the defensive end's responsibility out of this setup. His job is to take the quarterback no matter what. And he's got to make that quarterback either run the ball or pitch it. And if the defensive end is doing his job, that quarterback is going to know his number by the end of the day. He's going to be in there hitting him a few times.
Yeah, he should be hit whether or not he has the football to make him think about it at least. And, of course, as a defensive coach, that's what they're going to do. One man has the dive man, another guy has the quarterback, another guy has that pitch man, usually a safety coming up to take the pitch away. And when one of those things break down, the option goes a long way, and when it's defense properly, not a whole lot. There's a good shot of the crowd here at Cherry Hill High School Stadium.
And that's where we're up there in the old booth somewhere up there and in our vantage point. Cougars got the ball, 1st and 10. Out of that wishbone again. Went to the first man, the fullback, going up through the line. Gain of about 4. Blaise Salvatore on the tackle for the Lions.
That should have been number 40, Dave Carey, with the football.
Yes, it was Dave Carey.
And I believe the Cougars will punt with wholesale substitutions.
Chris Charo is going to be deep for the Lions as the Cougars get ready to punt. The hat snaps a little high and looping, but he gets it, and a big kick. My goodness, a long, long kick. Well over 55 yards.
Well, he's had a long time to rest that leg in today's game. I believe that's the Cougars' first or second punt of the ball game.
Yeah, they haven't punted too often. That's true, Jim. No question about that.
And
Lions are going to take over on their own 20.
That should have been number 14, Mike Goldstein, punting for the Cougars.
Excellent foot, excellent foot. And he did have a little help of the wind, but still, that ball was going to go a long way no matter what. And here comes Chiaro up the middle. Nice handoff by Crovetti, and Chiaro is going for another first down for the Lions.
And here again, basically the same play that Chiaro's been running. Takes the ball, comes up, and he's going to cut back to the left. But this time, rather than continuing out to the left, he's going to cut back inside to the right and try to run upfield. And there he's brought down. I believe
Good tackle.
Was by 23, Tommy Cohen.
Yeah, Chris breaks that one. He might be able to go all the way. Crovetti calling out signals here. Tailback set to the weak side. Looks like we had some problems back there.
There is a fumble. Let's see if West recovered. Yes, they did. See who comes up with
that
the football.
Crovetti never really got control of that ball. Let's see what happened here.
Ready goes the hand to Chiro. Chiro does not get control of the football and goes down on top of it to recover the fumble.
I think it was the East player there, number 74, who was in on top of Crovetti, Richard Traubman, that caused the problem. He was there just at the moment of the ball was there.
He almost looked like he was in the West huddle.
Good play, good by that defense. Crovetti to throw short over the middle, incomplete on that 13 yards to go on that first down, and that looked like it might have been a catchable ball.
Here Crovetti does not drop too deep. A little play action fake, sets up, looks downfield, finds Blaise Salvatore, tries to get it to him, but it may have been deflected just a bit by the Cougar defender. Third and 13, he might have a draw play or a passing play, one or the other coming up here, I would say.
Scott Dean in motion. It is the draw up the middle. Looked like Dean Smith getting the ball, but it's nowhere near the 13 yards necessary for the first down. So it looks like it'll be fourth down for the Lions, and they'll have to do punting. Chris Jarrow will be back in the game to punt. Getting set.
Tommy
E-step.
Estep is deep for the Cougars, as he's been all day.
Good snap. Some pressure. That's not Chris Chiaro's best kick of the day. It's going to go out of bounds. And again, Cougars are going to have a good field position near midfield.
Guess we marked the ball at about the
46-yard line, yep. So the Cougars have had good field position all day. Lions only a few times, and that was a result of an East fumble one time.
Proudly announce the appearance of Robert Hazard and the Heroes on December 4th.
In the background, you can hear the announcer announcing upcoming concert. That'll be at Cherry Hill West 2 Saturdays after Thanksgiving. Robert Hazard and the Heroes. Look at this run here by the Cougars from Cherry Hill East. Is that Tom Cohen there? Yes, it is. Nice run. Here we got it on replay.
It's fake to the fullback, second man give to Tom Cohen. Follows the blocking right up the middle. He's going to be a good one.
And that's good for a first down. Good run. Good for the first down. Lion defense, Jim's been out there all day. Have not been given too much of a rest. Quarterback keeper and no go on that play. The defense did their job.
A completely different ball game in the second half. Of course, Coach Wood with wholesale substitution starting the second half. It was all Cherry Hill East in the first half, scoring 35 points. One coming on a recovered fumble by Felt, which just about put the icing on the cake for Cherry Hill East, making it 35-0 right towards the end of the first half.
Cougars with the ball, second down. Goldstein calling out signals. He's going with the quarterback keeper, and it looks like a good play. Gained a couple yards. No, wait a minute. We have a loose ball.
We have a fumble, and West recovered.
Well, that's several turnovers that West has been able to get here in the second half, but what they needed was, it looks like, Jim, they needed some of those turnovers early.
Well, the ball popped out of the hands of Goldstein, I believe.
Yes,
Michael Goldstein just got it knocked out, and the Cherry Hill West Lion wisely or luckily saw the ball and went right down on it.
First and 10 for the Lions here in their own territory. Cravetti on the handoff to Chiaro again. Chiaro trying to keep, good run by Chris Chiaro. Got away from several tackles.
Well, Chiaro, definitely not one to go right down when he gets hit. Here he gets the ball. This is basically the same play he's been running all day. Their bread and butter play.
There's a nice block there by
right up, but here's a missed
Dean
tackle.
Smith.
Here's another one, and he's going to break this tackle. Just good balance on the young man. He's just a good athlete. Starts coming back up, and it's going to take a couple of Cougars, 2, 3, 4 Cougars to finally bring him down.
Yeah, number 73 was in there, and number 64 were involved in the tackle. Cravetti calling out signals. Again, over the right side, it's Cravetti. Not much, excuse me, not Cravetti. Cravetti handing off to
Chris.
Yeah, Chris Chiaro, and not much going that time.
Number 51 for the Cougars, Keith Houston, making a fine tackle on Shiro.
Gain of 2, and it'll be second down and 8 for the Lions. Again, the Lions would like to, put a couple touchdowns in this second half, and as funny as it might seem, get a little momentum going for next year. Here comes Chris Chiaro around the right side. Good pursuit by the East tacklers, and Chris is down after a short gain.
Looks like an injured Cougar. Looks like number 85.
Holding his wrist there.
Here we look at it on the replay. Shiro with the pitch. Coming wide right. Good pursuit by the Cougars. Good blocking out in front of Shiro, but here comes number 85 in for the initial hit, and that's when he hurt his wrist, it looked like, and that's Gerald or Jerry Sullivan, and he'll go out for a play or two. Shiro goes left, picks up good yardage again on his own effort. He's just a strong runner. Here we look at it again. Fake to the fullback, give to Shiro. Shiro goes through, breaks 2 tackles right there. Carries another one along with him. Finally breaks it. Then it looked like the secondary, looked like perhaps Tommy Cohen coming up.
And that's
hitting
good
him in front.
That's
and
good for a first down.
Puts him down.
Now, Lions are on the move here in Cougar territory, trying for another touchdown here in the second half. Dean Smith with the football. Oh, he's tripped up. Nice defensive play.
Good tackle by the young man from Cherry Hill East.
Dean Smith, stopped by Axel. Ball at the Cougar 32.
There's a good shot of the crowd here at Thanksgiving Day. And you know, Mark, a lot of people talk about doing away with Thanksgiving Day games. I'd hate to see that happen. It just really gets a lot of people out.
Well, I think that it's been initially when the Thanksgiving Day game was here at Cherry Hill West, when I was a student here, we played against Pennsauken. And when East came into being, I think probably then they should have probably put the games right on that date initially, but they waited a long time. But I think it's only logical that these two schools meet on Thanksgiving Day. It's a nice time for the town, and people still keep in touch with people on the other side of town. It's not like Russia and the United States, the people are still a lot of good friends and relatives on the other side of town. Scott Dean in motion here, gives up to Charo going up the middle, and Chris is moving, and the Lions are getting closer to another score there, Jim.
Well, Chris Shiro can really move the football. He's just got some really good moves. He's a strong young man. Here we look at it again. Give to Shiro, comes in. He's hit there, he breaks out one, he's hit there, he gets through that, comes up the third man, finally gets control of his legs, and that's something you have to do as a tackler. To get a good back down, you have to control his legs, and that was what the third tackler did.
All right, Cravetti calling out signals. Nice close-up here, camera work. Pitches out to Chris going around the left side, and he's gaining a few yards. Now the Lion offensive line and the backs are able to do some things here, and do we have an injured player down? Yes, we do. We have an injured player right now, and the officials will call a timeout. While we have this timeout, I would like to take this opportunity there, Jim, to mention a few people that are responsible for bringing you this game today. The cameramen, Troy Collins and Mitch Weinrob. And also, we have some adult people from both schools, Gordon Hampson from East and Alan Hawes over at Cherry Hill West. And a special graduate from Cherry Hill West who's doing all the close-up work, Joe Kern. These men are outstanding, doing a nice job here today with this game, covering it for you with the different camera angles that you're seeing today as you're looking at the Cherry Hill East Cougar cheerleaders right now. Now the Lions are getting close to pay dirt again here, something that's taken them a long time to see this year.
We don't have a number on the injured Cherry Hill East player, but he's still down on the field being attended to, and of course they want to make sure that everything's right before they allow the young man to get up. There's a shot of the Cougar marching band.
It's Cherry Hill East's home game this year, Jim. What all that means is that since it's the same field, they just happen to get the bigger side of the stands. And here comes the injured player off right now. And what
81.
Yeah, it looks like it is 81.
It's Andy Hicks. He's a junior, and glad to see that he's on his feet and walking off the field. I'm sure he's just shaken up, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, both teams want to win. Both teams want to play and hit hard, but no one likes to see anybody get injured. Scott Dean in motion again. Cravetti giving up the middle to Dean Smith, and nothing going. Good defensive play by the wall of the Cherry Hill East line. Third down and 5, and again, it's in the fourth quarter here. 35-7 Cherry Hill East. It's been all Cherry Hill West this half, Jim. 7-0. Cougars scored all the 35 in the first half, however. Scott Dean in motion again to the right. Quick pitch. Running hard to the outside is Chris Jaron. Met by 3 or 4 Cherry Hill East. Good pursuit. 74-45, number 12.
Well, Mark, if we watch this on the replay, watch where the pitch comes to Shiro. See, Shiro has to reach back for that pitch, and that split second is going to slow him down and give the defense time to react to it. When a quarterback is making that pitch, he wants to make that pitch back lunge for the football. The ball should be in front of him so that he's going a full stride with it. Anytime that he has to delay just that split second will really give the defense time
I'll tell
to
you
react.
who else made a great play in that for the Cougars, and Matt Palazzo. He didn't make the tackle, but he knocked the fullback Dean Smith on his rear end, and that enabled all the other players to get in there and make that tackle. So Matt Palazzo, not making the tackle, but did his job.
Good pursuit that time. Here we
Here
go on the replay. Shiro gets the handoff, but the Cougars are coming. Good pursuits coming over. And he goes down.
And we have a first and goal. First and goal at the 9-yard line for the Lions. Let's see if they can put it in again, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a first and goal for the first time for the Lions in a long, long while.
There's Chiaro moving up, and he's going to spin down close to the goal line. Chris Chiaro trying to get that second line touchdown. Here it is again. Cravetti. Good hole.
Good move by Shiro, though, to cut back inside. Good twisting movement. You don't want to give the defenders anything to tackle, and Chris Shiro certainly is a good example of a good runner. Gets away, breaks a few tackles, picks up some good yardage on his own, and we're 2nd and 1. 2nd and goal at the 1, actually.
Chiaro again with the ball, and he's in for his second touchdown of the day. And again, the West stands are alive and happy. It's been a long, long time. And you would never know that the score was 35-13. Did the enthusiasm on the team and the enthusiasm in the stands is just like that score is tied now. And here we go with the choir boy huddles again. Seems to be somebody in the booth doing a little bit of calling the wrong number here. Kick again is up. Hooking just over the uprights, and that's going to be good, and it's going to make it 35-14. Cherry Hill East over Cherry Hill West. And you look at the crowd right there. They look like it's a close ball game.
Number 83, Rich DePasquale for the Lions.
Left-footed kicker, good hole, and the kick is up and through. Well, game's winding down now, Jim, and I'm going to have to be leaving here at the booth because I've got to be out on the field to present the trophy to the winning team, which at this present moment I would venture to say, barring some miracle, is going to be Cherry Hill East. I'm the president of the Aldebart Foundation, and our foundation is happy to present this trophy to the winning football team. It's been at Cherry Hill East a heck of a long time, and I don't think that the West players have anything to be ashamed of. They've played a doggone hard game, and the second half they've been a completely different football team than they were in the first half. Some of the breaks have gone their way this time, and that's what game of football is. Sometimes you need to have a few breaks go your way, and let's see if they tried an onside kick because, hey, look, they'll be making 35-21, and, they're getting a little close and making the score respectable.
Well, you put some points on the board. It's really going to give you, as you mentioned earlier, that momentum going into next year. It could get your kids more apt for a weight program throughout the winter season, to continue to be in training, the younger kids coming up, and any point you put on the board is very important at this time of the year.
Well, as you just pointed out, as we're getting ready for this kick, and I would expect an onside kick, but yeah, here they go. They're moving into that position. The kick is off, taken in the air by the Cherry Hill East player, number 87. But you're right, Jim, about that. Football programs don't stand still. The players have to be dedicated. They have to want to work, and they're going to have to aspire to greater heights. They're going to have to work in the off season. Football just is not a September to November game. It's once the season is over, these guys take a couple of days off, and they've got to be back into training. They've got to be going out for other sports, keeping in shape, building their strength up, and that's the success. And that each individual player can only do that for himself. He's got to really work hard. But I'd like to thank you. It's been nice working with you today, and I'm going to head on down to the field now and get ready to present the trophy after the game, and I'll let Jim Powell take over. And again, this is Mark Steele signing off for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. That on the onside kick, the young man that they kicked to is probably the worst man that they could have kicked to. It was Bruce Welsh, the tight end for Cherry Hill East, and of course, as being a tight end, he's got some good hands, and he brought the kick in and held on to it. Goldstein still at quarterback. He drops back for the pass, throws it downfield, long, incomplete. Throwing downfield, the intended receiver, number 45, John Zuka. He's 5'11", 165-pound junior. Here we look at it again. Little fake inside. Goldstein steps back. Had good protection. The ball overthrown. Good coverage by the Lions downfield, however. There's free safety. I believe it's Blaze Salvatore along with the monster back. Goldstein keeps, finally pitches. I believe that to, let's see if that's Tommy Cohen. No, it's number 35. Joe Kish for the pitch back that time. The time is running down. We cannot see the clock from our position. I would assume that there's a few minutes left in the ball game. Of course, Cherry Hill West would love to get the ball back and have another shot at it. As Goldstein looks over to Coach Bo Wood, play coming in with number 40. That's David Carey. I'd like to thank both of the coaches, Bo Wood with his time giving me the lineups and talking about his team, and Mike Caputi of Cherry Hill West for the same. And again, Goldstein comes back for the pass. He's being pressured. He turns the corner. He finally throws the ball deep. Incomplete. Young man for Cherry Hill. Here we look at it again on the replay. Ball's up a long time. A good lunging effort by the receiver for Cherry Hill East. I couldn't get a number on that. May have been Andrew Hicks, number 81. Not much time remaining.
The administrations of both high schools, faculty, students. I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. And how about a round of applause for these two kids from East and West?
This could be the last play of the game. Goldstein taking the ball. He fumbles. Let's see, he recovers. Cherry Hill East recovers, and that's going to be the end of the game. And the Cougars will go out and shake hands with their traditional rivalry, the Lions of Cherry Hill West. The scoring in the second half, Chris Shiro on a 36-yard run, DePasquale with the extra point. That was in the third period. In the fourth period, it was Shiro on a 1-yard run, DePasquale with the extra point. Take a minute here and go over the scoring of Cherry Hill East in the first half. It was in the first quarter, actually the first offensive play of the game. Martis to Azar. Azar with the extra point, Felt on a 22-yard run. Haskell came in for the extra point that time. We missed the third touchdown. Fourth touchdown, Martis to Welsh. Azar kick again. And the last one, it was Felt on a fumble recovery to Azar. Now I'll turn it over to Mark Steele on the field. Mr. Ed Brannon on the field with Mark Steele. Get back for some more of the presentation here in a moment.